Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where last episode we nearly eliminated this base. It's not quite done yet though. So our Centaur can absolutely come in and eliminate this fire starter. I'm just going to, I think, park here, although these hit odds are not as good as I'd hoped. Did we fail our sensor roll? That's only 4 evasive. Yes, we did. Okay, well, we'll see what happens here. Hopefully we don't stray shot the Shadowhawk too much. We actually haven't stray shotted it at all yet. But the fire starter doesn't die due to the low hit odds there, which isn't actually shocking. Although it's a little shocking that the fire starter has withstood the fire that it has thus far. But we're just going to get the Shadowhawk in behind it. And this might be overkill, but I'm going to finally use the M-Pod here. Like, this is the last enemy, right? So let's just get this over with. This will guarantee the kill. So that's a leg destruction. And he actually ejects. Okay, sure. Well, massive overkill there. No doubt about that. Kaboom. 1 dead fire starter. Next up, of course, we need to go for the buildings. So we're going to move up our Apollo here. It doesn't really matter which of these we go for. We just have to destroy 3 of them, right? So what has the lowest amount of HP? Technically, it's this small military building back here. Okay, so we'll go for that one. Ooh, that's very close to dead, but it's not actually dead. Our trebuchet can move up and finish it off. It's a little bit back there, right, like tucked away, but that'll be fine. Cool. So now we just need to eliminate 2 additional structures. So that's going to be probably this small building and then like this medium probably. So the scimitar can make its way around over here. It can't actually fire at the small building from here, but we can certainly fire at the medium. And we can do a significant amount of damage to it. Let's see what our allies do. I'm not sure if they'll actually shoot at that. No, they won't. Okay, that's fine. So the Centaur is going to move up over this direction and hit this medium military building. This is probably going to kill it. Oh yeah, for sure. And now we have a straight shot at this small military building. So that'll be perfect. The dervish is going to run out over here. Hopefully we don't have any other enemies. We would like to evac after this, but I mean, it's not the worst thing if there are other enemies. Okay, let's eliminate this small military building if at all possible. Hefty damage to it, but it is not dead. The trebuchet will finish it off. We don't need to fire 2 LRM-15s. I'm just going to fire 1 to save on the ammo. So that should be it. That should be the whole thing. Like I said, it wasn't going to be all that much. And honestly, looking at the timing, I kind of regret putting a cut in now. But that's the thing. I'm always going to regret whatever choice I make with regard to that. That's just the way it's going to work. Every single time, I'm going to be like, I shouldn't have done that. Hindsight is 20/20, right? So let's just dive on into repairs and such here. We'll see how this ends up going. 735,000 for our payment. Comstar's not very happy with us, of course. That's not shocking. We didn't take any internal damage, so it shouldn't be very difficult. We do get a full blackjack out of this if we want it. There's some thumper ammo, but the actual thumper artillery is not available. Okay, so we could certainly go for the blackjack here. I think that's a reasonable option. The question is, are we actually going to use the blackjack? Maybe. There's a double heatsink here. Is there a double heatsink kit? No, there is not. If there was a double heatsink kit, I would be fairly excited about that. But unfortunately, no double heatsink kit means that this is going to be a little tougher. We're not interested in primitive FCSs here. And this is the BJ-O variant. That is a primitive downgrade of the BJ-1. So we might actually end up just selling this blackjack, to be honest. We'll see. What is this? Munitions. Minus 25% resistance to critical hits. This item may explode when hit, dealing damage in a wide area. Deals area of effect damage within... I think this is just the munitions that was on the target truck. Or rather, the cargo truck. So it could have exploded. Okay. Noted. Good thing it didn't. We could grab the thumper ammo. That'll be a useful thing once we do get a thumper. But we're not going to be getting that anytime soon, it seems. Beyond that, what else are we interested in? Like a Shadowhawk part? And an Icarus part? Something kind of like this? Consider it done. So we end up getting a couple of small jump jets. We do have 8 of these. I guess we can keep those around. We're never going to use these munitions, right? We're just going to sell that. A generic structure, we'll get rid of that as well. And we'll keep the thumper ammo and the double heat sink. We're probably going to end up selling that blackjack. That's my going theory right now. Or scrapping it. I forget how exactly that works. I rarely do that. But now that we can salvage entire parts, like entire mechs, we're probably going to be doing that more frequently. So that's absolutely great. So as far as the blackjack goes, with it being a primitive downgrade, I think we probably do get rid of it. I mean, we've got the hoplite, right? And then the trebuchet is already a fire support backup. So we don't really need the blackjack 0, or blackjack O, I think that is. 31,014 days for the repairs. That's fine. We're going to have our monthly report very, very shortly here. I want to make sure that the hoplite is still priority. Now, I want to go into the mech bay here, and this blackjack. I would like to simply sell it. So we could scrap it for C-bills, or we could send it to storage. And that is a potential option. How much will we get for scrapping it? 100,000? Let's send it to storage, but we need to repair the structure damage first. Okay, so how much would it cost us to repair this? We may just scrap it. This is actually quite cheap to repair. It ends up losing its engine core and its heat sinks, but we may not care about that. So 19,000 to get it repaired. And yes, it's not ready for battle. We are aware of that. So we're going to confirm that. That'll only take 4 days. So I'm going to put that in the position right underneath our hoplite. Now, we're going to tick forward here, and we're going to get our financial report. We're also going to finish up our structural repair. So that's all well and good. No problem whatsoever there. We're going to need a new upgrade ticking away. And we know that we want to work towards our 3rd mech bay coming online. So if we go into our engineering here, in order to get this, we still need structural reinforcement, which is this guy here? No, this guy here. Okay, that's easy. We'll get that going immediately.
Right, I'll get the team on it right away.
So phenomenal. That is absolutely great. And now we're going to tick forward for 3 days. So 1, 2, and 3. So that is work on the blackjack complete. So now I want to hop into the mech bay, and I want to send the blackjack to storage. Yes. Now, in the storage with the blackjack here, the question is, can we just straight up sell it from here, from this point? So, let's see. It's a medium, and it's right here. So, this is scrapping it. Do we have to go into the store to sell it? I don't think I've ever sold a mech in this game before. But yeah, we do it from here. 102,105. Okay. So that's the same amount that we would get from scrapping it. So that is a lesson learned then. There's no point in repairing it. You just want to scrap it in that case. Because if we go into the mech bay here, and we go into the storage, and we look at the blackjack here, and we scrap this, this is actually 1 additional C-bill. And we would keep the parts. Or we could scrap it and keep the parts. Okay. Yeah, we sell the spare parts. So we get 1 additional C-bill doing it this way, and we wouldn't have had to repair it. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So that's fine. We can learn that for the future. And now we're going to continue to tick forward a bit here. People are laying wagers. Okay. Let's put an end to it. Morale increased by 5, but Plato is in low spirits. Okay. Cool. So morale is currently discouraged. We are going to need to work on that, but let's continue to tick forward here for a little bit. We need to get our Centaur completed, then our Shadowhawk, then our Trebuchet. 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, there we go. Now we are almost ready to deploy. Let's hop into our barracks and let's get some upgrades going here. And let's see, Brick, you pilot the Centaur, right? No, the Trebuchet. Okay, so if you're the Trebuchet pilot, that means that you're going to be the Hoplite pilot once we get that going. So that would absolutely mean taking Bandit here, mostly for the boost to well, clustering roll modifiers are okay, but that's not huge for the bandit here. What we really want here... Hang on. Specifically for the hoplite, right? Specifically for the hoplite, we have a guaranteed crit on that clan Gauss rifle, right? So if that's the case, then surely we don't care about the critical hit chance or the clustering roll modifiers outside of the rockets that we have on there, which we only have 3 rounds of rockets, right? So then we could go for the called shot multiplier and -1 recoil. Do Gauss rifles cause recoil? That is the question that we need to choose here. I'm going to reset this for the moment. We're going to hop in and take a quick look at that Gauss rifle, which we can't do. Okay, let's hop into our components into here then. This is the North Storm Gauss rifle, not the Clan Gauss rifle, but I'm just checking. Anti-air factor can be used with recoil damper weapon attachments. So I'm guessing that that does have recoil. So in that case, I think that we absolutely do spec Brick into focus fire over Bandit. Okay, so we'll do that for now. Anything else that needs to happen here?
Commander, ready for it.
That's a negative. Okay, so at this point, we're ready to deploy again. And it's an awkward time for that, no doubt about it. Let's just hop into the command center, and maybe we do like a really quick and easy one. Like something that we can blitz through super, super fast. Training day with the planetary government. Well, that's not really what I'd like to do. Recovery mission, ambush convoy, maybe? A duo duel. Duo duel would be interesting, actually. That would be very interesting. So we can field up to 2 mechs here, right? Maybe we do this. It's against the locals. So the 2 mechs that we would end up bringing here, and this is a free payment rather than a free priority salvage. The 2 that we would end up bringing here would absolutely end up being our Centaur, 1000%. And the other would end up being our Shadowhawk. Who was our Shadowhawk pilot again? Hardcase? Yes. So it would be something like that. Can we bring a vehicle as well? That'd be kind of wild if we could bring a vehicle. No, it's not letting us deploy here. So I'm guessing, yeah, we can only bring these 2. So the Centaur and the Shadowhawk. Let's go. So we need to get in behind the enemies and eliminate them nice and quickly. This is a 1 skull difficulty, so this is like half a skull removed from what we just did, and we know that there's only going to be 2 enemies in a duo duel, right? So we should be able to round this one up pretty quickly, in theory. We just get in behind them with the Scimitar, and then up front with the Shadowhawk, take out one quick, or not the Scimitar, rather, the Centaur. We take out one quick with the Centaur, and then get the other distracted with the Shadowhawk, and get in behind it with the Centaur, and Bob's your uncle, right? In theory. We'll see how this ends up going. As usual, long loading times. See you guys in a moment. Okay, so here we are all loaded up, and let's hop straight on in here. So Magus and Hardcase are going to be pushing in here as quick as they can. The crowd is cheering for us, indeed. Where is the local government team? They're up over here. Okay, so I'm going to position our Centaur here for now. We're going to have a little bit of a hard time keeping up with it with our Shadowhawk, but we're going to position there for the moment. They want a good show, indeed. So this is a Talon. Gotcha. So spawn protection has been removed. How much frontal armor does this thing have? It's a decent amount of frontal armor. So I think that we just position ourselves up over here. We'll be moving through this spore field, which is not ideal, but we're not going to be ending in the spore field. So I think we position right up over here.
Moving at a sprint.
And we're going to fire on this Talon. I don't expect a huge amount of damage out of this. This is not the perfect positioning for this attack, right? So we're just going to soften it up in the front arc a little bit here and give it something to think about. Next up, the Talon is going to move down over here. Where's their other mech? This is a really bad spot to move it, by the way. Okay. Whatever that is firing on our Shadowhawk. What is that mech? The answer is it is a unknown. Okay, so we're going to close in out over here.
Copy that.
The Shadowhawk can fire, it's a Spectre. Okay, quad energy weapons. We can fire Side Arc on the Talon, but honestly, I'm just going to brace the Shadowhawk here.
How can I help?
And we're going to look to move into rear arc of this Talon. We can physical weapon attack it from rear arc here and potentially get a kill on it. So we'll see how that goes. I don't expect that that other mech is able to just immediately eliminate our Centaur. We hit the physical weapon. Huge damage to that Centaur. Engine crit, gyro crit. Unfortunately, it didn't get knocked over. The Spectre moves up and attacks our Shadowhawk. We're guarded, so 20% damage reduction on that. Phenomenal. Next up, I'm going to move the Shadowhawk up over here. Now, we'll take bonus damage because we're in the Spore Field. That's understood. We're going to position there, and we're going to fire rear arc on the Talon. Do we fire the Empod? No. We're going to get, at the very least, a knockdown here. Okay, engine destruction. Fantastic. I think we stray-shotted our Centaur a little bit there, but it should be okay.
Barely a scratch.
Yeah, that's fine. So we're just going to move up and look at this Spectre here. So let's get into position into the side arc over here.
Aye, aye.
Hit odds aren't the best. I'm just checking armor counts. Okay, definitely rear arc is the way to go. But we can fire side arc here and soften it up a little bit. That'll do for now. So at this point, the local government team is having issues, right? It's firing on our Shadowhawk. We take bonus damage from that, and we knew that was going to happen. So our Shadowhawk is going to look to close in over here. I'm not sprinting it, although maybe we should. We could get into melee positioning here. Now, it's put us back against this wall, and that's a solid choice. We'll see if that actually helps it. For the time being, I want to move into melee range here. And I am going to fire the Empod. And we're going to hit this same weakened side arc. We'll see how it goes. Let's crank this up to X6. There we go. X6. Cool. We did stray shot the Centaur a bit there again. But the Spectre no longer has evasive, so that's great. Next up, our Centaur is absolutely able to get into rear arc here, so this is not a good position for him then. We're going to fire our physical weapon. I think the Spectre just dies here. Hopefully it doesn't core melt now. That would be problematic if it did. We'll take some damage if so, but it doesn't actually, it's not that big of a deal if it does. Cool. Nice and easy, as expected. Cool. So that was pretty much what we expected. Although, it went maybe even faster than I thought. But yeah, that Centaur is just so good. It's such a powerful backstabber. It can get in behind because it can move quickly, and it can do a lot of damage once it's there. So that's really, really, really strong. No doubt about that. The next question, of course, is what do we actually get from salvage? We get a little bit of payment, although we'll have to get repairs done, naturally. And it's not going to be very much for repairs, to be honest. We could get that Talon. Again, we would probably just scrap it. It is a Star League era mech, though. It's a light fire support mech. It's armed with an ER PPC and a pair of medium lasers. Okay, we can't actually get the Talon. Noted. We could take the large laser, though. The large laser is not a bad option here, so we can definitely grab that. It's pulse module compatible as well. Okay, let's do it. So we end up getting a couple of Talon parts. We got a sensor basic. Do we even need a sensor basic? I guess we could have one in stock. That's fine. So that'll be absolutely great. And let's get those repairs done, get those mech warriors back and good to go. And fundamentally, like, that was the powerhouse of our lance, right? Like, we've got our tank in a cavalry role, but it really just kind of rolls around and pot shots rear arcs. And then we've got our 2 fire support mechs, which their primary role right now is just soften up and distract, really, more than anything. I mean, yeah, they're useful in taking out things like turrets from long range, absolutely. But the real damage is done from those rear arc attacks. No doubt about it. Cool. So that's going to cost us 17K to get those repairs done. 7 days overall. Not bad. Honestly, that almost pays for the entirety of this financial report. So that's great. We only have 11 days left in it, to be honest. So 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay. So the financial report is going to be in 5 days, and our ship upgrade is going to be in 5 days. I do think that we should probably check in on our 2 mech warriors that we deployed there. Okay. So Magus here, I absolutely think that we go for Bandit. Clustering roll modifiers and crit chance on that Centaur is really solid. So we absolutely do that. Then we, of course, have Hardcase. And Hardcase is not yet ready to get any of these. So that'll have to be fine for now. It is more acceptable to put a cut in now, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to deploy one more time before this financial report. I don't think we'll get another beyond that, but then the hoplite will be good to go by the time we get the rest of these repairs done after another full deploy. So that should be phenomenal. It'll be great to get our hands on that hoplite. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.